What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video from MK Alerts. My name's Pete. Welcome to the video. In this video we are going to be going into our own Cypher. So you've probably heard of Market Cypher, the Fu Manchu Cypher, which is free on TradingView, and yeah, if you've heard about Cyphers, you've heard about those ones. But today we are going to be talking about our own one, which is called MK Cypher. And as you can see on the screen here, basically this is our version. What's different? So let me just throw up the free Fu Manchu that you can get on TradingView, and you'll probably be able to see the differences straight away. So let me just make these a bit bigger for you. So below here you've got the Fu Manchu Cypher with the basic wave trend, the buy green and sell red dots. You've got the stochastic, you've got the money flow, you've got the VWAP, all cool stuff that helps you kind of make some more informed trading decisions. And along the bottom you've kind of got the money flow in bar form with some extra kind of dots as well. What you've also got on this free version is just some lines that indicate divergences, which is cool. Divergences are very handy and can be very powerful indications when price is diverging from actual wave trend action. So yeah, that's Fu Manchu, and that's kind of similar to what you get on the Market Cypher, which I think is about $1,500, maybe more money now, I don't know. Certainly not paid that for it. But basically we went and created our own one. And so what you can see up here is our version. It's got exactly the same wave trend. It's got the buy green dots and the sell red dots. It's got the divergences. It's got the money flow. It's got the VWAP, albeit just in a yellow line. And then we start adding our own bits and pieces to it. So let me just get rid of this and we can go into a bit more detail. So what we do actually have created and is available in our Discord is a legend or a key for this, which I'm just going to bring up now. So this shows you each bit and breaks down kind of what everything means. So yeah, you've basically got the main key, and I'll switch back to the chart, but this is here if you want to pause it and have a look. And as I say, it's available as a PDF download in our Discord channel. But let me flick back now. So yeah, so we kind of covered the basics. You've got your waveform, wave trend, your divergences, your blue and green and red buy and sell dots, your divergences, your money flow, your VWAPs. Also, what we've added at the top here is an ADX bar. Basically, we've integrated this ADX that we found on TradingView down here, and it's an average directional index of price action, and you kind of have the average kind of activity and the volume going through your chosen asset. And when it's kind of when the red's above the green, sellers are in control, and then when you have a cross, the buyers are in control. You kind of get the gist. When the kind of when this main trend line is below a certain level, which you can adjust yourself, but we've got it set to 20, it turns orange, and that basically means it's just a bit flat. You probably want to chill out and avoid doing anything too drastic. But when it starts going up, that means kind of volatility is returning, some activity is happening on the price, and you kind of get involved. So this ADX is represented on our Cypher as a bar. The deeper the red, the deeper the kind of price action in that direction. So when it's red, deep red, it's deep selling activity. And when it starts to lighten up, it's kind of easing off, cooling off, going sideways, and then you kind of start to get these changes in colour when it's just getting a bit choppy. These symbols, so you've got the ADX symbols at the bottom. I'll get onto these symbols at the top shortly, but these symbols at the bottom, because the settings are slightly different, let me just match the settings that we've put into our Cypher. So I've just adjusted these. So we're on the daily charts. When you get a blue diamond, represented on the main ADX by an X, but for us we've used blue diamonds, that means basically a strong trend has ended. So here we had this red down arrow. That prints when there's a strong downtrend in action. So there's a lot of selling action going on. The smaller red is basically the same as the big red, but just not as strong. But does indicate, it's an early indication, should we say, of a downward trend in play. And then when the blue diamond prints, that basically means this trend has come to an end, and you should keep an eye out for maybe a change in trend. Doesn't mean it's going to flip directly to a new uptrend. It could just be it's cooling off and there could be another downtrend, which you kind of had here. It kind of done another downward dip, but it wasn't as strong, and it kind of still played to the support level here where we've got on BTC, which was around 30k back in June time. So yeah, as you kind of go on, if it goes orange, that means kind of it's a bit flat, a bit sideways. You probably want to just sit out or maybe do some small scalping if you're feeling brave. And then basically, when you've got the uptrend in play, or things are turning bullish, it turns green. And if you get a strong uptrend, then you get a green up arrow. And that's pretty much the ADX, kind of what it does, what it tells you. We do tend to have the ADX on our chart as well, but this is a nice addition to our Cypher that we found very helpful, and certainly on the kind of back testing as well. ADX does provide some good filtering and good confirmations for trade entries. So let me get rid of that. Next, I'll just mention these symbols that you see at the top here. There is several symbols that we try and look at. Let me just go down some time frames, because there should be some yellow X's as well that we should show you. Here we go. So I think these are similar, and they are on the Fu Manchu Cypher and maybe even the market Cypher. So let me just talk you through these symbols. So a blue dot, these are kind of related to EMA crossings. So when there is a either bullish or bearish EMA crossing of several EMAs, you'll get a blue dot. Again, these are nice to haves. If you get other confirmations of certain indicators turning bullish or bearish. But yeah, these to me aren't the strongest, but they're in there anyway. So these happen when there's a potential trend change, basically. There's probably not any good examples here. I mean, there you could say it was kind of an uptrend, but it did go a bit sideways. So yeah, there's your blue dots. They're basically representative of a potential change in trend. Yellow X's, these are basically indications of potential market manipulation. So maybe fast moving action has resulted in one of these being printed. So when you do see these, what you could generally expect is on the next candle, or even in that candle you're on, maybe a reversal in the other direction, because it's been manipulated in that direction. These usually just print on downward candles, on bearish candles. But these represent manipulation, basically. What else do we have? Blood diamonds. So blood diamonds, let me just find a good example. So we had the recent dump on BTC. Blood diamonds represent a potential bloodbath, basically, a potential drop in price. Now you do get the odd few that maybe come too late or come too early, and certainly in this, when we get into what this purple background means, you would have avoided this red diamond here. But this one just coming out of the squeeze, you can see that it printed nicely. There was a change in the ADX going bearish. There was also a red dot. The MFI also flipped bearish, and these other bars, which again we'll get into, were all bearish. So that's a very good combo of indications on MK Cypher to give you a good reason to enter a short. And as you can see, there was a massive dump on BTC. So blood diamonds can be very reliable, albeit everything else is kind of matching up and giving you a good indication of a bearish signal. Next, we'll come onto the purple backgrounds. This is very simple. This purple background represents Bollinger Band activity. So if I was to put a Bollinger Band on the chart here, you'll see that when there's tight squeezes on the Bollinger Bands, which means low volatility, you'll get kind of this purple background. So whenever you see this purple background, personally, sit back, wait for it to open up, wait for this purple background to disappear. Good thing is, when you know it's in this kind of low volatility zone, when it does come out, there should be an explosion in one direction or another, and you can use Cypher or any other TA that you do to determine which way it's going to explode. But yeah, so purple background equals low volatility or Bollinger Band squeeze. So that's something else we have added to our Cypher. Next, I'm just going to come on to the VWAP. Basically, our VWAP is a multi-time frame VWAP. And what that means is it basically takes the time frame you're on, but then you have the ability to add 3 other time frames onto the VWAP to smooth it out so it's not so erratic. Adding higher time frame data to the VWAP, as I say, smooths it out, gives you a cleaner view. So I'll just show you the settings quickly on the VWAP. So they are here. So as I say, you have the current chart time frame. My original time frame I was working on was the daily. So what I then do is basically either double or at least add on an extra day for each time frame. Now, if I was to just change all this to the same time frame as I am on, which is the hourly at the moment, you can see it's a bit more erratic, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, if you want a truer view on just your time frame, you can just leave it at that and just have all time frames on the chart, so it's all on that. But then if you want it smoothed out to give you a bit more clarity and cut out some noise, I recommend changing the time frame. So at the moment I'm on the 1 hour, so my first time frame up, I'll put on the 2 hour, and then you can go 3 hour, 4 hour, or you can just double each one. So you can go 4 hour, 8 hour, and then if you go to the chart, boom, that smooths it out. And what we've added here, you see these small yellow up and down arrows. That just represents if the VWAP is above or below your 0 level. So yeah, just some extra visual support there, just so you can clearly see what the hell's going on. MFI we won't go into, it's basic MFI. You can change the MFI length, but we recommend just leaving it as default, that we've set in the MK Cypher default settings. Next, the next bar we're coming on to is, and I'll just go back to my daily, is our own kind of, it's the same multi-time frame VWAP kind of bar, but there's a indicator that we found on TradingView called the Kite crossing oscillator, the Clove Kite crossing. Look it up. I'll just show you. I think I've got it saved in here. So it's the Kite crossing oscillator by Clove. Very handy. Basically, it's a bunch of multi-time frame VWAPs, and it just shows you when they're all over, bullish, and then when they're all under. We've created this ourselves. We've copied it, worked hard on it, and basically put our own form into Cypher. Very handy, very cleaner way of representing when it's bullish or bearish. And again, what we've also done, so if we go to the settings, again we're on the daily now, but you can also add the time frames to smooth it out and have it less noisier. So that's our multi-time frame, I suppose, kite crossing version turned into a bar. Next, the next bar here is the Ssl channel. So yeah, this Ssl channel, if you don't know, I've basically added it on the chart here for you. So when it flips, when price is above both lines, it basically flips bullish. So what you get on the Cypher is a green dot, and the bar also is green, so obviously bullish indications. And then when price flips below both lines, you have a bearish flip. So the bar, we've cleaned it up a little bit and adjusted some of the default settings in Cypher, so it's a bit cleaner. You get less chop. But yeah, so obviously red dot indicates a bearish flip, and a green dot indicates a bullish flip, which gives just a nice extra confirmation of direction of price. The next and final part of MK Cypher is the %R bar, and I'll just add the %R on the chart so you can see that in its true form. So what you see here, I'll zoom in, so with the %R, it's seen as when the line crosses above -20, it's bullish, and then when the price crosses below -80, it's considered bearish. So on our Cypher, when the line crosses -20, you get a nice green W, and the bar turns green as well. And as long as the line, as long as the %R is above -20, the bar will stay green. When it drops below -20, but stays above -50, it's yellow. And then when it drops between, and then when it gets between -50 and -80, it's orange. And then when it gets below -80, it's red. It's bearish. So we find this is a strong indicator, a strong tool to measure bullish and bearish sentiment on price action, and we decided to add it to our Cypher. We feel it's a great indicator, especially on bigger time frames as well. Certainly on the daily here. And if you just look at the daily, to be fair, this is a great signal. So you had all of these here line up. So you had the %R, SSL, the VWAP, our MK Oscillator bar. You had a green buy signal, money flow just tipping over, blue diamond, ADX was green, and boom, you had a lovely trade there on BTC. If you entered here, maybe exited, say, when the SSL flipped, so you'd probably exited there once you got confirmation, you've just made 21% on BTC with no leverage. So yes, this has great potential. We love it. We use it. We also have a version that you can use for automated trading, which we'll get into in another video. The Cypher that is available, you can add alerts as well. So if I just open this up, you basically have here in the top section basically alert options. So you can receive an alert when the SSL flips bullish or bearish. You then have the option to kind of how many other items or indicators you want to be in line with your bullish or bearish indication. So say when the SSL flips, you want all 6 other elements of the cipher to be in agreement, then you'll only get a buy or sell when the MFI matches your bullish or bearish signal. Same with the MK oscillator, percent R, VWAP, ADX, SSL. Obviously SSL you've flipped, so that's irrelevant. And you also have the option to filter out any signals that are in a squeeze zone, which is quite handy because you don't really want to take any trades when it's in a squeeze, but you can untick that if you want to. And then you have an option to basically allow a delay in the number of candles. So say the SSL flips and you want to give it, say, 5 candles before actually giving up on that signal. So your SSL flips, but none of your extra confirmations have come into play yet. You can wait 5 candles for these to turn bullish if you're waiting for a bull signal or a buy signal. Or you can say, I only want to wait 2 candles. So, you know, it's kind of a stronger signal. So if the SSL flips and all of these are also bullish within 2 candles, you'll get your signal. If you want, you can just say, well, I only want 3 extra confirmations. So you could turn a few things off. You could say, well, SSL is irrelevant, but you could just say I want the ADX, percent R, and MK oscillator to agree with my flip. Or you can just keep all of them on, and as long as at least 3 of these 6 additional indications are bullish, you'll get your alert. Hope that makes sense. Obviously, if it doesn't, please ask us some questions. But yeah, you can choose SSL flips, the blue circles, the diamonds that are on the ADX. You can do divergences as well. You can do squeeze end. So when we come out of a squeeze, you can get bullish or bearish signals, percent R, MFI, green and red cipher, buy and sell dots, and blood diamonds. There is lots to play with in this, and we've already played with some, and we are providing signals in our channel for some bits already. But we welcome you to play with this to your heart's content. So yeah, that is pretty much a top line overview of MK Cypher. We will do another video on the version that you can automate. So this is just a quick sneak peek. This visual cipher you see here is exactly the same as the one I've just ran through with you, but what we have here is a script where you can basically do everything you wanted to do, but then there's extra section for your take profits. It's an ATR. We have an ATR version and a percent version. Again, I won't go into too much detail, but then you can have long and short alerts. The version that is published on TradingView allows you to actually put your webhooks in. This version is just for our Discord alerts. And this version you see on screen is actually one that we've made for our percent R alerts in Discord. And you can see pretty good results there, 88% we're getting. You can see these buy ones, it's win, 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 win. Sell, that's a win, 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 win. Pretty good. It's pretty darn good. And as I say, we highly encourage people to play with Cypher and the backtesters that we've published and see what you can squeeze out of it. But until the next video, which we'll go through that in more detail, hope you've enjoyed this one. Any questions, let us know in the comments or on Discord.